Manipulation. Comfort crumbs. We are experts at providing crumbs of comfort. This is because it is a necessary form of manipulation, which has to be utilized as part of plate spinning activities. As a consequence of the differing fuel matrices that we create, we have a vested interest in keeping certain of our appliances in the game. Remember, we narcissists like to conserve our energy so that we have more available for the carrying out of our manipulations over a variety of different appliances, and in order to ensure there's something in reserve to address threats to our control at certain stages in the dynamic. We do not want to be forced to have to apply much or all of our energies towards one appliance, leaving us deficient in respect of asserting control elsewhere. We have to keep several people in our fuel matrix because of the need for fuel. When we first seduce our appliances, we of course invariably treat them to a banquet, a feast, a sumptuous meal at Restaurant Narcissist. Unless, of course, you have the misfortune to get the bronze period, in which case you're out at the dumpster, you're eating out of the dumpster round the back of the restaurant. This is no drive-through quickie where you get the golden period, no fizzy water and sandwich grab from a street vendor, but a bacchanalian indulgence of several courses with no expense spared as we cause you to gorge on our largesse, our charm, and the illusion. Of course, the extent of this feast varies dependent upon the type of appliance that we invited to dine with us, and in order of sumptuous extravagance, the pecking order is as follows: Candidate IPSS, Embedded IPSS, Shelf IPSS, Dirty Little Secret IPSS, Non-Intimate Secondary Source, Colleague Friend. Familial non-intimate secondary sources are already seduced by reason of familial connection. If they have been pushed out into the cold and they must be brought back into the fold, then they will be treated as if they are a colleague or friend non-intimate secondary source. Tertiary sources are given something delicious but quick to consume, and it doesn't matter whether they want more or not. The main thing is that what they are given in the instant works for us. A little bit like Chinese food. Of the categories that I've described earlier, the common thread is that they are all treated to a delicious, enticing, and magnificent feast which draws them in. It's all impressive, and gets more and more impressive as one climbs the ranking. This means that the recipients get used to the extent of this feast, how amazing it tastes, how delicious it feels to be at our table, and becoming full on such wonderful treats and delicacies. This is how we cultivate the addiction to us, by feeding you such sensational dishes that, in essence, either instinctively or consciously, we keep you wanting more. You become used to the sensation of being almost satiated, your senses brought to life by what we deliver, and you want to keep dining with us forever and a day. Of course, these delicacies which we send your way give the appearance of being fulfilling, but ultimately are not. But you don't notice, and instead you want to keep tasting them, and therefore once we decide that we no longer need to keep providing you with these feasts, we instead opt to give you the comfort crumbs. These are little reminders of what you once had, to get the taste buds firing again, to cause the saliva to flow, to stimulate the memory of those amazing sensations, so you want them all the more, and with each crumb you are conned into thinking that it will lead to a trail to the groaning table of scintillating tastes once more. These crumbs of comfort are designed to keep you in the game, maintain your interest, stop you losing hope, ensure that you remain bound and loyal to us, under our control. Since they are crumbs, they are low maintenance for us, hardly taking any effort or energy at all. But since you are hooked on the taste from when we seduced you, once you allow one crumb to enter your mouth, the desire returns. The memories of delicious tastes and sensations loom large, and you want more. You are given another crumb, then another, just enough to keep you from looking elsewhere, and just enough to ensure that you remain interested in us. The rise of technology has really caused the conversational comfort crumbs to come into their own. Whilst they can be offered on the telephone or in person, that tends to result in the narcissist being placed under more pressure and their control is eroded to some extent. Instead, we use the comfort crumbs more usually through text messages, email, or social media message. This allows us to retain control, compose an appropriate message, and it is easier to sneak out a comfort crumb via text than speak, with the relevant appliance in certain scenarios. How then might these comfort crumbs operate within the various categories of appliance? Non-intimate secondary source colleague or friend. The comfort crumbs for this category don't need to be used extensively because the level of expectation and need for control is not as high. The colleague or a friend will only engage with the narcissist periodically, and therefore if the narcissist perceives there is a risk that the relevant non-intimate secondary source is drifting, he or she can throw out a few conversational crumbs, and shortly thereafter deliver the meal again. Delivery of this meal, namely time with the narcissist in asserting control, isn't a major expenditure of energy, since it may just be an evening every month or so. The non-intimate secondary source, colleague or friend, doesn't make extensive demands, and therefore all the narcissist needs to do is send a message such as, "Not caught up for a while, let's have lunch next week." "Hey, not heard from you in a while. How do you fancy a game of squash a week on Thursday? How are you doing? We need to catch up over drinks. Pretty bombed until the 25th. How does that suit you? 7 p.m, yes? We haven't talked about your promotion prospects recently. Let's have a breakfast meeting at the beginning of next month. Please arrange with my secretary. We should look at new marketing opportunities. How about we do so over lunch in a fortnight? Note there is the fixing of the meal in the future, and this crumb of comfort lets the appliance know that the narcissist apparently values them. This crumb will draw a fueled response, assert control, and keep the appliance interested, and the narcissist doesn't have to spend much energy through the crumb nor the eventual meal. The dirty little secret, intimate partner secondary source. The dirty little secret may be content to hold its position, or may be content for the time being with an expectancy of being brought forward in the narcissist's world to meet friends, be seen with the narcissist in public, meet family, and so forth. The dirty little secret IPSS provides frequent bursts of fuel through clandestine meetings with the narcissist, and therefore the narcissist will find maintenance of this element of the fuel matrix relatively easy, because it is a short notice demand to meet at a hotel, in a car park, in a bar, and the time involved will not be extensive. Nevertheless, if the narcissist is occupied with other appliances in his fuel matrix, usually IPPS but possibly in IPSS and non-intimate secondary sources, and isn't able to meet up with the dirty little secret, he doesn't want them going off the boil, and therefore he will ensure that she or he is kept interested with these comfort crumbs. Messages will be sent along the lines of, "Last time was amazing. I don't know how you do it. Can't wait for the next time." Or, "We have to meet soon. I'm going crazy without you." Or, "When we next meet, I'm going to treat you to an afternoon at that new hotel that we were speaking about." Or, "Things are hectic at the moment, but I'm trying to get things boxed off so we can have at least an overnight stay together, just as I promised." Note how we are enthusiastic about the dirty little secret, praising them, stating how they deserve to be treated well or given more time, but there isn't any actual commitment to when this will happen. There's future faking, and this is because the demands of the dirty little secret are greater than the non-intimate secondary source, and given that infidelity is invariably taking place, the ability to commit is not as clear. The comfort crumbs will be thrown around more liberally to entice the dirty little secret, but there won't be an iron cast commitment. Shelf intimate partner secondary source. It is this category of appliance which suffers the most with regards to the provision of these comfort crumbs. This is because the shelf IPSS is picked up and put down, is regarded largely in a favourable light with an extended golden period, is not often devalued, and, if so, it is a short-lived corrective devaluation. And the narcissist has made a significant investment in this person and wants the return on that investment. The narcissist does not want to lose the IPSS and have to find another, But when the narcissist is spending time with a different IPSS or is engaged in spending time with the IPPS, be that devaluation or more likely a respite period, the relevant IPSS will be placed on the shelf. Predictably, this person will be wanting to know when they can see the narcissist when they are next getting together. They may know about the IPPS, but be concerned that the narcissist is spending time with the IPPS. Note that these comfort crumbs are not used when the narcissist is first seducing this person to make them an IPSS, but they are used when the IPSS is placed on the shelf and is angling to see more of the narcissist. The narcissist will use a vast array of conversational comfort crumbs with the IPSS. Some will use charm, some seek sympathy or pity, seek understanding, and others will threaten. Examples will include: really busy at work at present, but I'll call as soon as I'm free. Tied up with the children, I'll be in touch tomorrow. Schedule is packed for the next 10 days. I'm dying to see you, but we'll just have to be patient. I will tell her, but now is not the right time. Her father is ill and this has to be done properly. I know you'll agree because you're understanding and I thank you for that. I just need to get these next few weeks out of the way and then we can be together. There's no point in rushing it and causing more trouble than is unnecessary. I can't make tonight. I have to go to this family dinner. I wish you were coming with me though. Look, there's no point getting worked up about this now. I'm in the middle of a huge deal. I can't talk. I've told you this. And why are you risking fucking it all up? I said I'll sort it and I will, but you have to give me time. When I get through this period, we'll have a weekend away, I promise. You know it's you that I want, but I need to know that I can count on you at this difficult time. You know I've always delivered, and the one time where I am under pressure, you start adding to it. I didn't think you were like that. Look, I'll check my schedule and make some time for us. Let me do that, and we can have a good talk when we see one another next. Every night, I lie there thinking about you and when we can finally be together. I cannot wait for the time I come home and find you there waiting for me. I know we will make it happen together. If you tell her about us, I will never speak to you again, and you, and only you, will bring down this wonderful thing that you and I have together. Please don't do that. You'll destroy me, and destroy the best thing that has ever happened to me. Once again, these comfort crumbs come with no set time for delivery, no firm and definite time periods, but they are designed to keep the IPSS hanging on. There are 1,000 different ways that they are phrased, and it is the IPSS who finds themselves in the role of permanently in waiting, kept interested from these crumbs, but never finding their way to the table again, either at all or for some time. Sometimes there might be a pile of crumbs provided whereby the narcissist engages in a telephone call or Skype call instead of meeting up. This will be used to assert control, maintain interest, and gain fuel. The comfort crumb is used as a benign method of control because the narcissist doesn't want to use harsh and malign methods, either instinctively or consciously, in order to assert control and to avoid loss of control over a valuable appliance. The embedded IPPS. The comfort crumbs operate in a different way with the embedded intimate partner primary source. None, of course, are needed during the seduction or their embedded stage of the golden period. They'll see plenty of the narcissist then. The comfort crumbs will be doled out during the devaluation of this embedded IPPS for the purpose of keeping them in place so that more negative fuel can be extracted whilst the narcissist works on the prospective candidate IPSS, either finding them or seducing them. It's likely, although not always the case, that the IPPS will live with the narcissist and therefore the comfort crumbs will be linked to find a way to sort things out, achieving a resolution and such like. You'll hear matters such as these. I think we need to sit down and talk things through when things are less hectic. We can sort this mess out. I'm determined to do so, but it has to be done right and at the right time. I just want things to be the way they were. I want us to resolve these problems, but there are too many distractions at the moment. Let me know when we can do this. I will talk to you about our problems, but now is not a good time. You know how busy I am with work. We have to see what can be done, but you need to make some changes first for me to see before I consider how we move forward. Again, these are vague and amorphous and are designed to be that way, inherently. There is no true intent to resolve the issues, but instead, these comfort crumbs are provided to enable the victim to think that resolution, something an empathic person relies on and hopes for, is achievable and that the golden period can be returned to. Finally, the candidate intimate partner secondary source. The candidate intimate partner secondary source isn't given Comfort Crumbs because this appliance is in the ascendancy towards being crowned as IPPS, and therefore they are subjected to the bombardment that is love bombing. What are the Comfort Crumbs that you experienced with the narcissist that you entangled with? I'm H.G. Tudor. Thank you for listening.